After a rocky start to the 2021 season, going 1-3 in their first 4, the Raptors are rebounded nicely, winning 5 straight games. In this video, I'll be telling you guys why the Raptors will shock the NBA this season and be way better than everyone thinks. Let's get into it. What's up guys? For those who don't know me, I am Clutch Takes, and for my returning subscribers, I thank you guys for waiting the 2 months. It's been a long layoff, but we're back, and the Raptors are too, and they're rolling. The Raptors this season were written off by analysts once again, predicted to be at the bottom of the standings, but as we've seen this movie before, the Raptors have proven the doubters wrong, and they look to be a competitive team this season. This has been especially impressive as the Raptors have done this 5-game win streak without their star talent Pascal Siakam, as OG has stepped up and looked like the most improved player. Fred VanVleet has taken the shoes of Kyle Lowry and ran with that facilitating role. Trent Jr has looked amazing defensively, and Scotty Barnes has looked way better than anyone could have hoped, being way better than Jalen Suggs and looking like the Rookie of the Year favorite. All these standouts that I just mentioned have sparked excitement within the Raptors fan base as Messiah looks to be building something special once again, and it looks to be coming sooner than we all thought. So what caused the Raptors' 5-game win streak? How can they maintain it? Let's start from the player that's leading the charge right now, OG Anunoby. With Pascal Siakam being injured this season, OG has really stepped up to the plate, averaging 25 and 3, being that number one option, being aggressive, quick. He really worked on his game, you can tell, and he's ready for that breakout season. My biggest gripe with OG Anunoby has always been his lack of aggressiveness, lack of scoring the ball. Rather you say that being Nick Nurse not giving him enough touches, but he has finally got that chance and he's running with it. And he looks to be finally developing into that two-way superstar player at the age of 24. I know a lot of people gave him that Kawhi comparison. I kind of don't like that, as every two-way player who's somewhat good at offense, they get the Kawhi comparison. Honestly, don't really like that. They have a lot different games. OG can lock up your best player just like Kawhi did in his prime, but OG's a way better three-point shooter. I think he's a better on-ball defender now at the moment, but in the same way as Kawhi, he doesn't take too many bad shots. You know, he's very calculated, but I like how OG has picked up his handles, his speed. We saw this from last season and it only looks to be improving. OG recently showed the star potential in the Garden, scoring 36 and huge win over the hot Knicks. Now, I don't expect this from OG Anunoby every night, but this is very encouraging, and he looks like that superstar player that you can build around. As we've seen before, Pascal Siakam, he looks more like a number 2. He was perfect beside Kawhi Leonard, but I feel like OG Anunoby has more of the potential to be that number 1 option, and it looks like he's developing into that player now. Next, I'll be talking about the 2 other players I mentioned, Fred VanVleet and Trent Jr. Fred VanVleet has finally moved into that point guard position. You know, he was a point guard all through college. Now with Kyle Lowry finally leaving to Miami, he gets to get that point guard position, and the Raptors are a team that they need facilitators, and Fred VanVleet is that main facilitator, and he's done a great job getting the offense involved. Fred VanVleet is currently averaging 19 and 7. You know, he can still be sometimes streaky, but he seems to be having better shot selection. I feel like another playmaker beside him would really help, but for now he is carrying that playmaking load, and I feel like that is the perfect role for Fred VanVleet. We saw last season that he really struggled scoring against the basket when he's getting people into the offense, creating looks for other people, and when the other facilitator comes, he'll have better shots for himself as well. As for Trent Jr., you know, you would like to see that playmaking improve. You would like to see that shot selection improve. Trent Jr., as you've seen this season, the most important thing about his improved game is his defensive play. He's almost averaging 3 steals per game. How sustainable is that? Who knows? Obviously probably not that sustainable. Trent Jr. looks like a way improved player. Now he looks like a player that can develop into that shooting guard. You know, training Norman Powell. Norman Powell was having the career high season, and Trent Jr. Messiah believed in him, and now at 22 years old, he looks like another piece that the Raptors can build around. Lastly, I want to talk about the player that obviously you guys are waiting for me to mention, Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes is currently averaging 18 points and 9 assists, as he has proved a lot of people wrong, including myself. You know, I can't lie, on draft night, I wanted the Raptors to draft Jalen Suggs, but you know, Masai really liked what Scotty Barnes had, and a lot of people compared him to that Draymond Green pick. At the time, I really did not like that, especially from a 4th overall pick. Draymond Green was really vital and important to those Golden State Warriors championships, but Scotty Barnes has shown that he has way higher potential than Draymond Green. When people gave that higher comparison to the Kawhis and the Giannis's, that seemed far-fetched at the moment. It looks like Scotty Barnes is more on that path. Scotty Barnes has already looked amazing on the defensive end. Scotty Barnes, he brings that energy, he brings that defense. He's not afraid of anything, he's not afraid of the moment. A lot of people say he looks like the most polished veteran player. He's older than his years. Scotty Barnes looks like he can develop in this team. He fits that Raptors culture of that defense first mentality. The offense will come. And we have seen that already this season. Once a healthy Pascal Siakam is added to this squad, I feel like this team will only become more scary. Overall, this team is a hardworking defensive nightmare, young guns full of talent, and I can't wait to see this team grow. And you never know. No one wants to see this team in the playoffs, and you never know. It might be a team like the Miami Heat that goes all the way. But let me know in the comments down below, how far do you think this Raptors team will go? Is this just an early season blip? Will the Raptors snap back into reality? Let me know in the comments down below. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.